Yo, 10 shots, 6 blunts blowing through the session. Dragging on a spliff, reading, dragging on a cliff. A MC in the booth, an assassin on the roof. I'm just waiting to shoot. Nigga, hurry up and die. Greatest truck of spares, you would think you had drama.
My brother, last topic.
What's the next topic?
IWA, MLW, Savio Vega, new IWA championship is going to be displayed in Kings of Coliseum, or, well, maybe not Kings Coliseum. Let me not say that, but it will be in Philly at the shows. So I'm excited because IWA seems to be growing with MLW. Like the partnership is.
So IWA was this the way I was reading up just to make sure I had the right information. So they've been out for 23 years. Savio Vega is the owner of the company, IWA Puerto Rico. Right now, they actually have 5150 is the tag team champions of Puerto Rico, and King Muertes has one of the belts also. The Puerto Rican title is King Muertes belt. So they have two guys from MLW who are champions down there. So.
Yeah, and I think is it the Caribbean belt that's going to be rebranded?
Yes, the Caribbean belt. Yes, Caribbean belt. Yes.
So,
now, I'll tell you one thing. They're supposed to be bringing wrestlers from down there. Now, there's a tag team that I would love to see. They're called Thunder and Lightning. And these guys are big dudes. They wear masks. One has like a lightning towards the mask. The other one has like thunder. These two guys are amazing tag team monsters down in Puerto Rico, bro. If they bring those two guys up, and they show them up here in May, dude, I'm gonna faint right there on the thing. I'm gonna just pass out. You're gonna see me on TV like, who's that fat guy on the middle of the thing? He just passed out. That's Jorge. He just passed out again. He just saw some people he liked. They passed out.
You know, we're gonna have to start tagging Court, right? Like we want Thunder and Lightning. We gotta throw Savio Vega in there because that's his baby. But
yes,
I'm loving the fact that we're going to see more of a partnership because for a while, you kind of look at the Caribbean belt like, I'm not sure what it's doing in MLW. King Muertes hasn't been around for a little while. So you're like, I know he's the champ over there. So you're like, dope, that's what's up. So there's a lot of things going on that leading to Kings of Coliseum. Savio Vega also has had, I thought the most important person that was part of that group going against Contra Unit because he came in with the Kendall stick, was wrecking shop. Savio Vega's part of the storyline of what's going on with El Jefe. There's a lot of little things that Savio Vega's a part of that if you pay attention, you're like, okay, Savio Vega's pretty important in MLW. This belt being rebranded on MLW, to me, it says a lot of what they feel towards MLW because you could have just did that in Puerto Rico and threw it on social media and it is what it is. But the fact that you're rebranding it on MLW on a big stage like Kings of Coliseum, I think that's a dope look.
Yeah, I mean that's good because it shows that the partnership, it shows a good partnership going forward when you having Puerto Rico belt, a Korean belt being shown here in MLW. And they put an importance on it on a major level, being MLW. Rebranding the belt to something else is going to be good. We're getting the featherweight belt coming up. I mean, we might be getting lucky to see a lot of new things coming out in May from this one show, King of Coliseum. So we might be in the house and witness a lot of new stuff, new debuts, new belts, new people coming in. Though this might be the most exciting show of the year for MLW starting in May, going forward. And it's going to be two shows, down in May. And May is going to be in Philly. And June is going to be in New York. So the New York one is going to be huge too. So
absolutely. And the way it's seeming is that we do look like it might be a changing of the guards going on. It just might be, and I don't want to say out with the old and in with the new, but that's kind of the way we got to say it. It seems like, we are transitioning into a different era, but you can't even be mad at the era because you got something great out of these guys. And to keep going forward, you got to keep making moves. Like guys like Bandito.
Yeah, and not to cut you off, but I see MLW, Impact, and N.W.A. as a Major League Baseball team. You know, you have a top 25 roster that you got to fill out. You got top 25. You want to get this guy in, but you can't because your top 25 is already full. You have Uncle Vince. You got Tony. They could sign anybody they want. They have no, basically in sports, they have no cap. They could sign because they got the money. They could sign anybody else they want. But here, you only get 25 scholarships. The 20 once somebody leaves, then you can bring somebody in. So once somebody leaves from MLW, Impact, or L1W, once somebody leaves, then you have space to bring somebody else in that's going to be there multi-year. You know, we heard that how they said that Smokes is no longer there, and then you come and you sign Juicy Final. So one person left the roster, boom, you already put somebody in that spot. So there's so many spots you can fill out. You can't put nobody in because you already maxed out. And that's how those companies save their money. And they have to budget this stuff. Uncle Vince, Tony, they have no cap. They could do it how they want to do it because they got the money pouring out of every hole in their bodies and more. Places like the little ones, Anthem, Corbauer, Corbin, Billy Corgan, you know, they have to understand, they have to save every penny that comes in and goes out. So like you said, we don't want to say go out with the old, in with the new. Is nope. We have enough space, 25 open spaces. One just became available. We have to bring somebody else new. It keeps us intrigued as fans. It brings some new, younger fans into the company. We might be upset if somebody we like leaves, but that's part of the business. You know, they became stale. Instead of they leaving and getting in dispute, oh, I want to leave, I'm crying, I want to go on social media, they don't want to let me out of my contract. Boom, well, here you go, Bobby. It's your time to go. We don't have anything for you. Yo, Chef, what you got for me in the company? Well, right now I don't have anything for you right now, so we're going to have to let you know. You know, now you go and you reinvent yourself in a year somewhere else. Now you come back, oh shit, you bigger than before. Now you bringing something more to the company if you decide to come back in a year. That's why it's called business.
I mean, that's the thing that people don't understand is that if you hit and you get over, you go into a company because they're sorting you. You're not like trying to get signed. They're trying to sign you. So a guy like, just say a Moose becomes a free agent. You're telling me that MLW or N.W.A. doesn't want to throw a bag at Moose? Like, why would you not? He's a top-tier athlete who's murdering it, and everybody wants you because you're the hot thing. If you go out there and you redefine yourself on the indies and you bubble, everyone's like, damn, now I need this guy because look what he's doing. He brings asses and seats. He's got this following. He sells merchandise. You will do that. The other thing is, all these corny-ass fans that think that people are playing fucking Monopoly money, calm down. Yeah, Uncle Vince and them could sign everybody they want, but also look at all the releases that have been happening with WWE, and they have said we have to cut costs because there's too many people. So, yeah, Vince McMahon is a super billionaire, but a billionaire don't want to just keep losing money.
In order to make money, you have to keep money. And in order to keep money, you have to cut people to keep that money. That's why they always on top. They never keep the excess fat. They cut the excess fat off. Because that's how they always stay over the budget. That's why every time they do those books, oh, we're having open books for the thing. Oh, they made this much this year, but they're cutting people off. Yes. Because they have to. He's not going to keep more people in there to lose the money. Well, you know, this is a business, people, first and foremost. So basically, people get mad at Uncle Vince because he's cutting people before the contract is up. But the people are still getting the contract. Cousin Tony is not letting anybody get cut because he's letting their contract expire and then he doesn't resign them. Okay, so what's the difference between both of them? There isn't. They're both getting paid. Uncle Vince is cutting you, giving you a bag. You wait 3 months and then you're free to go anywhere else. Or you stay with Cousin Tony You get paid your whole year, but you stuck there for a whole year till your day expires, and now you're gone. You have no money because you already took all your money for the year you were home. So now you got to go somewhere else and start fresh somewhere else. But because Tony is the best thing in the world. Oh, Uncle Vince is a monster. It's the same as.
I'm not gonna. We're not gonna defend these guys. Like, we don't defend Vince, but all the corny. Listen, if you want to call Vince McMahon an asshole, you want to call him this, you want to call him that, you better say the same shit when someone does the same shit.
He's a rich asshole.
Yeah. Oh, facts. But you know what? Vince McMahon has never changed. The guy he was that you didn't like him in 1995 when you were a kid, or wherever you're from, when you see Vince, you're like, oh, this guy's a douche. In 2022, he's still a douche, but he's still the king of the fucking the industry.
Exactly.
So love him or hate him, that man is the king. And until WWE gets knocked off, which don't get upset with me when I say this, it's never going to happen.
The only way that happens, everybody says AEW is taking over. No, they're not going to take over. The only way AEW takes over, they have to do at least 6 months of Wednesday night TV shows that at least they hit over 2.5 million viewers. They're barely hitting 1 million, and that happens once a month when they hit 1 million. You have to hit 2 million viewers per episode or more every episode for the next 6 months to be considered a threat to Uncle Vince's universe. They've been out for 3 years. They hit 1 million, less than 10 times. They're never gonna take over that. They're never gonna be the next WWE until you hit that 2 point or more 6 months in a row, which is never gonna happen.
You know what it is, though, and we'll end it with this, because Vince McMahon has on his side the greatest wrestlers of all time have been in his doors. The Hogans, the Flairs, the Stings, the everybody. Yeah, Sting had a small role, but you still had Sting. You had, Eddie Guerrero. You could keep going down a list of the legends, right? He has all of that from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. He's got that. He's got that tenure, and WWE fan base. They might be nuts, but they spend money. Like, you look at a pay-per-view like WrestleMania, it's sold out. You got 800 to 1,000 people wearing belts.
2 days now. For the last 3 years, it's been 2 days of shows of WrestleMania, and again next year is going to be again 2 nights again, and both nights are getting sold out.
So you can't compete, and then to me, and this is how I'm finishing it. This is exactly how I want to finish it. The greatest thing I've ever seen, and it might be, and I've never been a Cody Rhodes fan, the fact that Vince McMahon was able to sign one of your VPs, I've never seen that in wrestling. That would be like if Vince McMahon, when TNA was doing this thing, signed Dixie Carter. Like, how do you pull that off? You know what I mean? Like, how would you make that move? And somehow Vince McMahon is like, you know what? I'm going to take one of your most important assets, and I'm going to take him from you just to slap you in the face and remind you, I'm daddy. I'm daddy. That was gangster. It wasn't like Kenny Omega. You know what I mean? It wasn't one of the bigs, but it was a vice president. You stole a vice president. How do you do that? I don't know. Ask Uncle Vince, because he just laid it down with, you can have, listen, keep playing in Jacksonville while we do what we do, while we travel, while all you see is my people on every TV show. Every day you'll see them on, like, Wake Up, whatever, on ESPN. If you're part of WWE, you're part of such a global market that touches everything in every city, not just a hardcore fan base of wrestling. They're outside of wrestling, talking wrestling. I mean, they got like Subway deals where you had like, I don't know, what's the girl with blue hair. Sasha Banks and them were doing stuff. It was like, yo, they were on everything. They cricket. They were on cricket. They got a cricket deal too.
Yeah. Yes.
It's like, you know what, my brother? We touch
even cricket, which is one of the crappiest sales companies out here in New York. I don't know how it is in all the cities, but when cricket got money like that to get WWE people to do a commercial for cricket, dude, shit, that's crazy right there, bro. That was crazy.
That's, you know what? We talk literally everything, my brother. You want to drop anything on him before we get up out of here? I'm hungry than a mother. I ain't lying.
Yeah, man. Just a little thing that happened on Wednesday for AEW, where they got that new Indian guy, 7'2" Indian guy who came out, looks like the Great Khali. But the thing is like he looks like the Great Khali. He's 7'2", ex-basketball player. He was drafted a couple of years ago, but never made it to the NBA. But he's huge in India. Yeah, he's huge in India. And the reason why that was made is because they just have signed a deal with India where they're going to start AEW India, like Uncle Vince did with WWE India. That's going to be spearheaded by him, Sanjay Dutt, and Jay Lethal coming up in the future. So we're going to see in AEW India wrestling with AEW coming up in the future. That's the reason why that segment was done. And also, AEW just signed a contract with New Japan Wrestling to have their shows, AEW when Dynamite, be shown on New Japan Wrestling streaming service.
Wow.
So yeah, so that's now they're doing something where they're gonna do something close with New Japan wrestlers, and they have wrestlers who actually will sit there, watch the show, and talk commentary during the shows and give their takes and stuff like that. They just did that. It just started last week, I believe. So that's another thing right there. So slowly but surely, AEW is making moves to try to get into the universe piece pie over there. If they're gonna succeed, we don't know. But I mean, doing something with New Japan Wrestling is pretty huge. I mean, the universe doesn't do it. They're doing it. That's pretty huge right there. So we'll see what happens with that.
Facts. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've touched every topic that was there. I'm gonna chop this up. I'll probably drop something on your head today. It's obviously Saturday. For myself, the big homie, we out of here. Deuces.
Deuces.